Welcome to the very first episode of this first season's Face Off tournament. Now, for those of you who aren't Warpheads, I do the show called Face Off. I've done one preview episode for free, but typically it's in the Warp. And what basically Face Off is it's a head-to-head competition, close combat oriented. It's all about close combat. You put two individuals in the center, they fight it out, see who wins. So it's basically like a face-off in hockey. Two individuals meet in the center, one individual wins. And that's what the spirit of Face Off is. It's see who is the best in close combat in the game of Warhammer 40k 7th edition. So I've decided to do a tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be 16 individuals in this tournament, and we're going to put them against each other in a single elimination fashion and see who wins and who is ultimately the best close combat oriented monster in Warhammer 40k 7th edition. Now, I should state some of the rules attached to this. Now, first of all, half the episodes are going to be for free. For you, the other half are going to be in the Warp, so if you want to see all of them, check out the Warp, 14-day free trial. Go check it out. But, as I said, half the episodes are going to be for free for you all. So that's going to be really fun. There's going to be 16 individuals in this tournament. It's going to be single elimination, and each round will be a best of 5 scenario. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to put them against each other, and you have to win 3 rounds of combat. By entire round, I mean killing your opponent. If one individual kills his opponent, he gets a point. First one to 3 points for the first and second rounds of this tournament, win the game, and go on to the next round. The semifinals will be best of 7, and the finals will be best of 9. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of crushing each other, a lot of epicness. The next thing that people keep asking about are, will turns be actually incorporated into this tournament? The answer is kind of. Basically, we pretend, for the sakes of this tournament, that they're already in the combat when we start filming. So basically, there's going to be no Hammer Wrath attacks. There's going to be no assault value. So no one will get a +1 value for assaulting in. No one will get rage. No one will get Hammer Wrath attacks. However, turns will be included for those that need it. For example, Goskal Thraka, the turn that he calls the Wah, he gets a 2-up invulnerable save and the following one as well. So we'll keep track of that. Furthermore, psychic powers will be allowed in this tournament. Now, most of the individuals, as you're about to see, don't have psychic powers, which keeps it pretty easy. However, those that do rely on them heavily, which allow them to be the close combat monsters they are. So it would be really unfair to deny them those psychic powers. For the ones that get random powers, we're going to choose the best ones for close combat just to see how they do. However, most of the psychers in this competition, as you're going to see, already have fixed psychic powers, so that removes that debate altogether. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, the individual controlling them can choose to turn on a force weapon or turn the other psychic power, and it's up to them. And if they peril and die, that will be included in, and they just lose that round and their opponent gets the point. So it's going to be tons of fun. Another important point is this is all about close combat, not about shooting. So there will be no dancing around. They start in combat, they stay in combat. The end result of a round of combat does not matter. There will be no combat resolution, no leadership checks, no chasing the opponent down. These guys are going to stay in combat until one of them is killed or they die. That's basically it. You know, that's the spirit of Face Off. So, without further ado, we'll get to this season's 16 contestants. So, representing the Grey Knights, we have a Dread Knight and Lord Keldor Drago. Both of them are close combat monsters because the Dread Knight has a Strength 10 AP2 Force weapon that is Mastercrafted and he gets 4 attacks, has a good weapon skill of 5, so he'll be a fun guy in this combat contest. Versus Drago, also close combat monster, Strength 7 AP2 without even casting Hammerhand, which he can cast to get up to Strength 9 AP2 sword. He has a good weapon skill and a 3-up invulnerable save, so he is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this tournament as well. Representing the Tyranids, we have 2 really crazy close combat monsters. We have the Toxicrene. Now the Toxicrene does have a low weapon skill of 3, so that's going to be a problem in this tournament. But he has a AP2 weapon, of course, because he's a monstrous creature. He gets to go at a really high initiative, and he has instant death on a 6 and a poisoned 2-up attack. So he's going to be pretty nasty in close combat. Versus also the Swarmlord. The Swarmlord has the second highest weapon skill in this tournament of 9. He has instant death AP2 swords, and he has a 4-up invulnerable save in close combat. He is going to be a beast in close combat. Up next, representing the Orcs, we have 3 candidates in this in this season's face-off tournament. Starting, of course, Ghazghkull Thraka. We have to have Ghazghkull Thraka. He is the Prophet of the Waaagh. He is nasty, has a strength 10 power claw, can get a 2-up invulnerable save, the turn he calls the Waaagh, and he's pretty cool. And also has a 6-up feel no pain, but that will probably not come into play a lot. We also have Gruk Facerippa, a really cool character. He has true feel no pain, and he also has a giant power claw of doom, and that will eat everyone to shreds, and an attack squig. So that's going to be good stuff. And we have the Morkanaut. The Morkanaut is going to be a lot of fun. He's the only vehicle in this season's tournament, so he's going to be pretty nasty. The key is with him is it's going to be hard to deal with his armor 13. He does have 5 hull points, and he has a strength 10, like AP2 crushing claw of Mork. So he's going to be a beast in close combat, instant killing anything that doesn't have Eternal Warrior, but he'll do some serious damage to them. Obviously at a lower initiative, but still, he'll get to go before any of those who have Power Claws or Power Fists. So he's going to be fun. Representing the Eldar Codex, Eldar Craft Worlds, we have the 2 Lords of War choices, the Avatar of Khaine and a Wraith Knight. Now, I know some of you thinking Wraith Knight might have an unfair advantage. I'm very curious to see how he does in this tournament. He might do amazing due to his strength D, and now that he's been bumped up to a Gargantuan monster creature, he's going to be fun. So let's start off with the Avatar of Khaine. Highest weapon skill, 10 in this tournament. He has a great initiative. He has a great weapon. The only downside to him is he only has a 5-up invulnerable save, being a demon, and it's gonna be hard because something might get through his invulnerable save, and then he'll be in trouble. But he will most likely get to go first, and he will do some serious damage in close combat since he'll be hitting everyone else on 3s. Everyone else will be hitting him back on 4s. And then we have the Wraith Knight. Now the Wraith Knight is, as I said, he's going to be interesting because he's a gargantuan monster creature, so he will get stomp against anything with a small base, and he is strength D. However, he also has basically the worst weapon skill in this tournament, other than the Toxicrene, who actually might do good against him. He only has a weapon skill of 4, so he's going to be basically hitting everyone else on 4s. And he's only initiative 5, so a lot of guys will get to go before him or be able to withstand him. Now the key is, can he roll that 6 on that D chart or on the stomp table? Then it's a different story. But he's going to be an interesting one, and he will be proxied, everyone. I know he has guns in this case, but he will be proxied as the sword and shield combination, so he will be strength D in close combat and have a 5-up invulnerable save and a 5-up feel no pain. That being said, there are a few guys here with instant death that will go through the feel no pain and do D3 wounds to him instead of instant killing him. So I'm very curious to see how the Wraith Knight does in this tournament. I think it's going to be fun. Now, representing the Chaos Space Marines, we have 2 close combat destroying people. Karn the Betrayer, tons of attacks, hits everyone on 2s basically. He is nasty. He's going to go and get some people to shreds. He's going to be really nasty against the Morkanaut, especially because he actually has armor bane and stuff. And of course we have Abaddon. We got to include Abaddon in a close combat hitting contest. He has his demon weapon, so he can get up to like 11 attacks in a turn, and he is going to eat people to shreds. Now he only has a 4-up invulnerable save and a really good weapon skill of 6. So most of the time he'll be hitting everyone else on 3s or 3s actually, but some people on 4s. So I'm very curious to see how these 2 do in this tournament, but I think they're going to represent Chaos Space Marines very well. Representing the Dark Angels is Belial. Belial, it will be proxied as the Thunderhammer Storm Shield variant, since he really needs that AP2 and a 3-up invulnerable save. He's going to have to forfeit his initiative, but he's going to need the 3-up invulnerable save to keep alive, and his AP2 is going to be really strong since almost everyone else in this competition has a 2-up armor save or a good invulnerable. So he's going to need that strength 8 weapon. So Belial, I think he might stand a chance. We'll see who's matched up against in round 1. Representing the vanilla Space Marines, Lysander. You can't really get more close combat beastie oriented than Lysander. He's a strength 10 hammer of Dorn. It's going to be AP1. It's going to eat through things. He has a storm shield. The downside to him is he only gets 3 attacks in close combat at an okay weapon skill, but it is mastercrafted. So we'll have to see how he does in this tournament. I think he's going to do pretty well, but obviously depends on who he's matched up against. Up next, representing the Inquisition Codex, we have Inquisitor Kotias. Now, he may not seem like a tough guy, but you know what? He has a 2-up armor save. He has a Demon Hammer, so he can call force and instant kill a bunch of these guys in close combat. So, you never know. He could actually do well depending on who he's up against. He's a pretty cheap HQ relative to the other guys, but he still has some heavy, hard-hitting power, representing the Inquisition. And finally, representing the Necrons Codex, we have a souped up Overlord. We're going to soup him up to the stack, so he'll have a Resorb, a War Scythe, you know, the best invulnerable save he can get. He will be souped up to the max. And also, Vargard Oberon, the other really good close combat oriented Necron. So the downsides with them is they're going to be at Initiative 2, but they will still get to go before the Fists and the Claws, which a lot of the other people do have. And you know what? It's going to take a lot to kill them. We're going to give them a good reanimation protocol and see how they do. You know what? Their armor saves might get knocked out, but the Overlord does have an invulnerable save and reanimation. So he might survive, and we're going to see how he does in this season's face-off. Plus, Oberon is just a nasty guy. He's a bodyguard and will eat everyone to shreds. So I'm very curious to see how he does as well. So, who will win this season's face-off tournament? I'm very curious to see who wins. The first round will be drawn randomly, and this tournament will be taking place over the next couple months. Half in the warp, half for free. And we're going to play with the current rules in case anybody will change in the next couple months, because knowing Games Workshop, the rules will probably change. So who do you think, people? Who will win this season's face-off challenge? I'm excited to see who wins, and I think it's going to be a bloodbath. So, yes. So, that is this season's 16 contestants. Now, if you really want to include someone in the next face-off tournament, leave a comment in the comment section down below of who should have been included. There's going to be multiple seasons of this face-off tournament, and what we're just going to do is mix it up, see different guys and girls, see how they do in the tournament. So next season, I will definitely include as many new people as I can, so leave comments in the comment section down below. Plus, my big question to you is, who do you think is going to win and why? Leave a comment in the comment section down below of who you think will win this ultimate tournament. So thank you very much for watching this episode. Stay tuned for next week when the tournament begins full fold. 1 episode for free, 1 episode in the warp. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.